In this video, I'm going over 3 super ultralight tarps. They're the most interesting, the most creative, the most extreme, the lightest tarps, shelters, and tents that are out there. The 3 that I'm going over is the Gearswifts DCF Poncho Tarp, which I'll be using on the first half of my PCT hike, the Ounce Designs Adobe Tarp, which I'll be using on the second half of my PCT hike, and the Metaphysics Abode, which I used on the entirety of the CDT. I'm in a rush to get to the PCT, so this is just gonna be a quick overview of the super ultralight tarps. I felt like I had an opportunity to film these because right now I have the DCF Poncho in hand and the Ounce Designs tarp in hand. And I don't have it anymore, but I hiked over 2,000 miles with the Abode, so I'll be able to give a really good hands-on, I'm not gonna call it review, but because I don't wanna review these kinds of shelters. I think they're all amazing, and I'm so grateful for the creators of these kinds of shelters, that these are super ultralight enthusiasts that are creating specifically for us. And the review is just, they're amazing, and I'm so grateful to have them, you know? So to start, we're gonna go over the company, the price, the weight, the dimensions, the materials, the pack size, and what makes it unique for each of the 3. So to start, the Gearswifts DCF Poncho. The company is a guy in UK. He does a lot of 3D printing of unique super ultralight pieces of gear. His motto is the lightest gear possible. And I think that's really how he does it. The price is around $350. The weight is 4.8 ounces, so it's the lightest tarp poncho on this list. The dimensions are 8 feet 11 inches by 5 feet 5 inches. I got the bigger one. The smaller one is quite small. The material is 0.5 DCF. The pack size is, here it is. The pack size is quite small. And what makes it unique is, unlike the Gatewood Cape, which is my first love and my greatest love, this poncho's hood is really cool. I just sort of like how it looks, and he's really spent a lot more time in sewing really specific. The next one is the Ounce Designs Adobe. The company is a really cool guy in Hong Kong who really cares about making super creative aesthetic pieces of gear. I think he's making the most beautiful, most creative stuff out there right now. So I'm super grateful to be able to use and try his tarp. This is the Ounce tarp. He hand drew on a lot of the pieces of gear. His instructions are hand-drawn. They're just, his website is so freaking cool. He actually made it so that you have to search around the page to find the products on the website. I just love that he's clearly trying to be clearly is creative, and he's making these really beautiful pieces of gear. What is the price? It's probably around 600-ish. The weight is 5.82 ounces, which is pretty close to the DCF Poncho Tarp, which has way less coverage. Dimensions are 8 feet 2 inches by 4 feet 7 inches. The material is the same as the Poncho Tarp, 0.5 DCF. This is not even a little bit compressed. You would just shove this into your backpack. It compresses quite small, definitely not as small as the DCF, but quite small. It has 3 modes. It has the friend mode, which makes it so it really comes out and there's a lot of space underneath. It has the rain mode where you bring the doors in, and then it has the chill mode, which is just the doors open. The line locks around it are really cool. There are a bunch of different colors, and they're with heavier DCF to enforce it. Like I said, I think Ounce Designs has the coolest style. This is a really cool tarp, and he puts a lot of energy into attention to detail, not just to make it have utility and work well, but also to make it look really neat. The last tent is the Metaphysics Abode tent. I use that through the entirety of the CDT. The company, while I was walking on the PCT, I ran into Johnny Z, the guy who owns and makes all of Metaphysics gear. He's a super nice guy. He's really doing a lot for the community. He invented the bottom pocket that's on all of the super ultralight backpacks now. I did a whole review of his grasshopper, which is a nod in sort of, I don't know if you'd call it ironic, but a nod to the super ultralight community's craziness that it looks like a JanSport backpack. But we walked for a couple miles together and talked about the clip that's on top of the Palante V2 and the pleats of the water bottle pockets for like an hour. This guy really cares about the specifics. I feel grateful that I was able to use one of his creations. The Abode is priced probably around $500. Its weight is 7.05 ounces. That's because it's fully enclosed with bug net. It's the only one on this kit that you have bug netting with. And then the dimensions is, there are no dimensions on the website. I can tell you that it's made for Johnny Z. I think he's taller than 6'2". There's a lot of space underneath. The material is the same as all the other ones, 0.5 DCF. The pack size is small. To talk specifically about the tent or tarp, it has full bug netting, but it doesn't have a zipper. The way that Johnny Z walks is he hikes all day, like 40 miles, and then when he gets to camp, he just goes to sleep. There's not really a lot of camp time. What that means is for this shelter, you have to lift up all of the bug netting, get in, and then you're pretty much enclosed in, which if there's a negative, that's the negative. I think it would be nice to have a zipper, but then it would probably be 8 ounces. And so you just have to, weigh that. There's I can't show it, but there's the way that he sewed the bug netting into the door is that it comes up. And so when the rain is coming down over the lip, the way that the door fabric is folded acts as a kind of gutter and brings the rain away so it doesn't drip down on the bug netting, which is really unique and thoughtful. It doesn't have a door, which when you look at it, you're like, that's completely insane. But I hiked the entire CDT with it and never got wet. You just have to be really particular with how you pick your sites, especially when you know there's rain coming. You need the door to be towards an obstacle, and you can't be in completely exposed areas. And the reality is, if you just walk another mile or 2 miles, which sometimes really sucks at the end of the day, you can get to a site that works. I was in it for many huge downfall rains where other people were getting completely soaked out in their tents, and I was perfect. These are the coolest companies and the coolest tarps and shelters out there. I just wanted to show you them because they're something that makes me excited, and I'm just so grateful they're being made right now. I'm going to be heading out to the PCT pretty soon. I want to give you my PCT gear list before I leave, so hopefully I can get that made before I head out and you can see all of the I found some pretty cool, unique objects. So thank you for watching.